Hello, future educators and scholars. Welcome back to my channel, your ultimate guide to cracking UGC NET Paper 1 with clarity and confidence. Today, we're discussing a very important topic from Paper 1, Unit 1, Teaching Aptitude Human Memory. Friends, you might be surprised that even though human memory is not listed in the UGC NET syllabus, questions from this area keep popping up in exams every year. It's what I like to call the examiner's choice. So I've created this video focusing on the exact terms and concepts that have been asked in the UGC NET exam. So make sure you watch until the end. Let's start with a scene you might remember or maybe not depending on your memory. Remember the 2008 hit Gajani starring Amir Khan? His character Sanjay Singhania suffers from anterograde amnesia or short-term memory loss. He can't create new memories for more than 15 minutes. To cope, he tattoos important information on his body to remember it. Sounds extreme, right? But it perfectly shows how short-term memory works. But what is short-term memory? And how does it differ from long-term memory? Let's find out. But before that, sit back and relax. We have created a special PDF that summarizes this video and provides you exam-ready notes. Just drop a message on the WhatsApp number on your screen or click the WhatsApp link in the description box and we'll send the handy PDF right to you. First things first, let us begin with the most basic question. What is memory? Memory is how our brain stores and brings back information. It's like a bookshelf in your mind. When you learn something, you place it on the shelf. When you need it later, you take it out and use it. Simple as that. Now, there are four components of memory. We call these the 4 R's of memory. First is remembering, bringing something to mind when you need it, like recalling a friend's birthday or a poem you learned in school. Second is retention. This refers to holding on to information over time. Like, for example, even if you haven't cycled in years, you still remember how to ride one. Then comes recall. This is the pulling up information without any hints, like trying to remember your first teacher's name from memory. And lastly comes recognition. This is about spotting something familiar when you see it, like recognizing a face in a crowd and remembering where you've met them. Together, these four steps help explain how we learn, store, and use information. Just remember the 4 R's: remembering, retention, recall, and recognition. Friends, you can find this topic explained in detail in my Amazon bestseller, a book in which we have explained complex topics of UGC NET Paper 1 using real life examples, images, and diagrams. In fact, our courseware on UGC NET Paper 1 book is India's only UGC NET book that comes with 100 plus video lectures and 4000 plus unit-wise solved PYQs. Next, let us examine the different types of memory. Just as a library has various sections for different kinds of books, our brain has different types of memory for storing different kinds of information. The first type is sensory memory. This is the most short-lived form of memory, retaining information for just a few seconds, like briefly smelling perfume as someone passes by. The second type is short-term or immediate memory. This holds information for around 20 to 30 seconds, like remembering a phone number just long enough to dial it. I'm sure all of us at some point have walked into a room only to forget why we went in the first place. Well, that's our short-term memory letting us down. Third, we have working memory. This is like a mental notepad that helps us store and use information temporarily, like calculating change while shopping. Fourth, we come to long-term memory. This is where information is stored over a long time, like remembering our first day of college or a conversation that left a lasting impression. Now, if you are worried how you'll recall all this, just remember, smart students worry less. Isn't that a fun and helpful mnemonic? Friends, for more such informative videos wherein we explain most important topics of UGC NET Paper 1, in less than 15 minutes. Hit that subscribe button and tap the bell icon. And don't forget to check out our playlist section where we've organized unit-wise playlist for UGC Net Paper 1. This way you can find all the video lectures for each unit together, making your preparation so much easier. Now friends, let's dive in a little deeper. In the last section, we learned the 4 types of memory: sensory working, short term and long term. Now, long term memory can be further divided into 2 broad categories: declarative or explicit memory and non declarative or implicit memory. Sounds complicated? Don't worry. Let's break it down. Firstly, let's talk about declarative memory, which is also called explicit memory. This type of memory includes things you can clearly remember and talk about. It has 2 parts. One, episodic memory. This is your memory of personal events. For example, remembering your last birthday party or a picnic. And 2, semantic memory. This is your memory of facts and general knowledge. For example, knowing that water boils at 100 degrees or that Delhi is the capital of India. The second type of long-term memory is the non-declarative or implicit memory. This type of memory works without you even realizing it. You don't have to think hard or try to remember. Your brain just does it on its own. Let's look at the different types of non-declarative memory with easy examples. 1. Procedural memory. This is memory for knowing how to perform tasks. For example, you don't think step by step when riding a bicycle or tying your shoelaces, you just do it. That's procedural memory at work. 2. Associative memory. This is when one thing reminds you of another. Your brain connects them automatically. You hear your old school lunch bell and suddenly feel hungry, even if you're not at school anymore. That's associative memory. 3. Non-associative memory. This includes habits and reactions that change over time. This again is of 2 types. Habituation, which is when you ignore repeated stimuli or stop noticing something. Like after living near a busy road for a few days, you stop hearing the traffic noise. And sensitization, which is when brings an increased reaction over time or when something bothers you more over time, like a dripping tap that becomes more annoying the longer you hear it. Another associated concept here is priming. This is a UGC net favorite. This is the type of memory where something you saw or heard earlier makes it easier to think of something related. For example, if you hear the word yellow and the first thing that pops into your head is banana, that's priming. Your brain connects things without you even trying. I know this is a lot to take in at once. So here's what I recommend. Pause the video, jot down quick notes, or even rewind and watch this part again if something didn't click right away. Trust me, learning gets much easier when you connect concepts to your own life. So try thinking of your own fun or personal examples. That's how memory really sticks. Now let's look at a previous year question that has been asked in the UGC NET exam from this topic. The question is on your screen. This is a great question for understanding memory types. The correct answer here is 1. Short-term memory. Reena used short-term memory, which holds information temporarily just long enough to use it. Since she kept repeating the number and then forgot it after use, it didn't enter her long-term memory. Friends, if you are looking for more PYQs on this topic, you can refer to the Unit 10 questions in my UGC NET Paper 1 book that provides you 4,000 plus solved unit-wise questions with detailed solutions and hints. But hey, what if you are looking for online mock tests that can help you practice questions in online exam format? If that's what you are looking for, you can join our newly updated online mock test series with a wide range of full-length tests available on the Arpita Karwa learning app. These tests perfectly replicate the UGC NET exam interface, providing you with a real-life exam experience. Plus, after each test, you'll receive a detailed performance report and see where you stand in the All India leaderboard. It's a great way to identify your strengths and weaknesses and level up your preparation. Now, let's explore some other key memory concepts that are often important concepts that have been asked in the UGC NET exam. Firstly, episodic buffer. This acts like a mental scrapbook. It brings together different types of information such as sounds, images, and emotions into one complete memory episode. An example of this is remembering someone's wedding. When you think about it, you remember the wedding with all its music, decorations, food, and emotions combined. Secondly, consolidation. This is the process where your brain converts short term memories into stable long term ones. Without consolidation, memories stay fragile and easy to lose. An example is how reviewing your study notes repeatedly helps consolidate the information for your exams. See, this is why multiple revisions before exams are a must. Next is the phonological loop. The phonological loop is part of your working memory that holds sounds and words for a short time. It's like a mental tape recorder that repeats sounds and words to keep them active. An example is how we remember an OTP only until we type it in. Then comes memory trace. This is the tiny change in your brain when you make a memory. The more you remember something, the stronger this change gets. And lastly is memory span. This is how much info your working memory can hold at once. Usually it's about 5 to 9 things, like digits in a phone number. Now friends, after understanding how memory works, it's time to explore a fascinating and very important question. Why do we forget? Firstly, there is decay. This occurs when information fades simply because it is not used. For example, forgetting how to solve algebra problems if you have not practiced them since school. This concept was tested recently in the UGC NET exam. Look at the question on your screen. The correct answer here is to decay. Decay means losing memory over time when you don't use or review it. If you don't practice or recall something, it slowly fades away, just like metal rusting if left unused. Secondly, we have interference. This occurs when one memory blocks or mixes up another. There are two types of interference, proactive and retroactive. Proactive interference happens when old memories make it harder to learn or remember new information, like when you might accidentally give out your old phone number after switching to a new one. And retroactive interference is when new memories cause you to forget older ones, like learning a new password and then forgetting the old one. Thirdly comes inhibition. This is when your brain deliberately blocks or controls memories or responses. Inhibition too is of two kinds, attention inhibition and response inhibition. Attention inhibition happens when you fail to remember something because you weren't paying full attention. For example, being distracted during a lecture and missing key points. And response inhibition is when you consciously stop yourself from reacting or recalling something. For instance, choosing not to reply to a troll online to stay calm. And finally, the last reason of forgetting is repression. This is a defense mechanism where the brain pushes away painful or disturbing memories to protect you emotionally. For example, forgetting traumatic childhood events that are too upsetting to recall consciously. This concept too has appeared in the UGC NET exam recently. The question is on your screen. As we have just learned, the correct answer is 1. Repression. Priya, forgetting an embarrassing event from years ago, especially if it's emotionally upsetting and pushed out of conscious memory, is a classic example of repression, where the brain hides painful memories to protect feelings. By the way, who doesn't love free stuff? If you want even more past year questions on this topic without spending a penny, head over to our website. Under the past year paper tab, you'll find all the PYQs from 2012 onwards. Ours is the only website that offers 150 plus official UGC net paper, one question, papers with authentic answer keys for absolutely free. So go ahead and grab those free resources while you can. So, friends, that concludes today's lecture on human memory. I hope the topic now feels more structured and approachable. And if not, don't worry. Just go slow, take your time, and revisit the concepts whenever you can. Memory and forgetting is a tricky but fascinating subject, and with a little practice, it definitely becomes easier to understand and remember. That's it from my side for this video lecture. We'll meet very soon in the next video lecture. Till the time we meet next, happy learning, keep loving literature, and stay tuned to my channel.